Good afternoon. My name is Jesse Montgomery, and I'm here to inform the audience about one of my favorite artists. This is an interesting artist because no one knows what his true name is. All we do know is he goes by the name Banksy. So, informing you about Banksy, I will cover three topics: his early life, some of his big works, and some of my expectations from him in the future. Starting with his early life, he was born somewhere around the Bristol, United Kingdom area, and he is presumed to have the name Rob Gunningham. That's what people have found him checking into hotels at, traveling from country to country, and even his lawyers call him Rob. So that is his name allegedly, even though it's not confirmed. So he started his career early when he was 14 years old in the Bristol underground scene. So what he did is he pretty much just spray painted walls with a few of his friends, and he became familiar with that area and really grew to love art. He was inspired by Inky and 3D. Those are both rather big artists as well, so it's interesting to see how he kind of marketed himself into what he does. And so getting into some of his big works, he is known for being an artist, a political activist, and a film director. In the US, he made his name pretty big by going into the New York Metropolitan Museum of Art, where he put on a disguise, carried in a bag with his own artwork in it, and he nailed it into the wall. The name of that piece that he nailed into it was "You Have Beautiful Eyes." And what's interesting about that piece is it was actually a painting, like a replica of the Mona Lisa that he painted, only with a gas mask on. So it was like pretty bizarre, but it's also a very beautiful painting. One of his reasons for doing so is he thought that the painting he did was very good, and if he didn't go in there and post it up on the wall, then it would just be sitting at home still being useless. In 2010, he directed a film called Exit Through the Gift Shop. It's a documentary that I believe it is on Netflix if you want to check that out, but it was featured at Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah, and followed an artist named Thierry Guetta, and he goes by the name Mr. Brainwash. Banksy has been known to say that it was just a joke to show that he can make anyone famous, but when others ask him, he says it was actually a serious documentary. So an interesting fact about that film was in his trips around to debut the film, he actually visited Royal Oak, Michigan. Along with Royal Oak, Michigan, he visited Toronto, San Francisco, and a few other places in California, where he just did random artworks. In 2015, he created this park called Dismaland. This was an exhibition show where he featured a few artists, and as you can see in this picture right here, he replicated Disneyland pretty much exactly as, just really run down and messed up. So a lot of people wonder why he did it. There's no clear reason other than it was to draw a major crowd. He did this in the Weston-super-Mare in the United Kingdom as well, where he's from, and it made global news all around the world. So a few expectations I have from Banksy coming up in the future is that he really likes to advocate for topics he's passionate about. So I know he does things for deaf people. He loves to do charity work for deaf people. So I can see him to continue to motivate his political bound art towards helping deaf people and other causes that he is interested in. And the last thing that I have for an expectation is I continue to expect his art to randomly appear all over the world at many different times. So as you can see, I was very curious about Banksy in high school, and I looked into his early life, his works that made him big, and also what I expect to see from him in the future, and I hope you're curious in checking that out. Thank you.